Oh no, the Pokebros are coming. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more kind of. So, just had a conversation this morning, talking with a good friend of mine who's a lot more involved in the industry of the Yu-Gi-Oh side of things and the buying and selling than I am. And he's having a conversation with me, and we're talking about. He's like, "Have you seen?" The recent price spikes happening in the Yu-Gi-Oh market. I was like, I've seen a couple of things, but, it's just been, like quarter centuries. It's things that we were expecting. And he was talking to me about how some of the higher end Pokemon bros have been looking into Yu-Gi-Oh. And this is something that my comment section has told me, don't worry, none of the Pokebros are going to come into the Yu-Gi-Oh community because they're going to lose all their money. Well, they found a way. So, to my understanding, what they are actually doing is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually free money. And I'm going to financially tell you how this works because it's hilarious to me. The basic rule of buying something is if you buy two things and you sell the other one for double the price and they were both the same price, the other item becomes you broke free and now you have what is called an asset or free money, and you can now sell that other piece. The thing that these bros don't really care about is they care as long as things are turning over and they're pulling back out their investment, and it's a rinse, wash, and repeat style of method. And that's why, look at these quarter centuries, people. Suddenly, why is a quarter century going from 5 to 10 to 20? Oh, wait, it's now 40, 50, 60, $70. One, supply and demand. All right, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to not point the finger at the Pokebros the entire time. They're not the 100% fault as to why quarter centuries are spinning over in price. No, that's just supply and demand. We can sit here and go, there's some evil investor sitting over there in the corner buying stuff out, which there might be, but the problem was you had the opportunity. I'm going to shout this to the back of the room. We all had equal opportunity to buy these cards on release. Do I need to say it again so that people understand this? We all had our fair share of time to pick up quarter centuries. If there was something that we wanted, we had a chance to get them. We are, and to the people that are coming in, hi, if you're new to watching and looking at the hobby and you're wondering why these quarter centuries are going up, well, it's time and erosion doing its thing. Now, there's also been some movements happening around old LOB First Ed that's been kicking back up recently. Yes, the old LOB First Ed market actually kicked back up recently. I saw a couple of like $12,000 blue eyes moving. I read a couple comments from people going, well, 1 to 2 sales on this doesn't mean that the market's moving. We've talked about that, like there in the background of this game, there are people that have way deeper pockets than you. And this is why, like, when we have people that are complaining about cards selling at, you shouldn't spend, $130 on crowns. I hate to tell you this, but there are people that have that money that you don't have, that they're willing to spend the money. That was a terrible example. Crown for $80. You can sit here and you can complain about Crown being at $80, but one, it's the first time that a product has been saved in a while. And number two, this is the first time that, Corset has been successful. Those are different things, but that's, hey, Burst Protocol actually was a good set. Stores actually wanted to pick it up. I know, right? It's a core set that isn't failing. And now you're going to have people going, wow, I can't believe this. You have this string that pulls back and forth, man. You want cheap products? Why'd my LGS stop supporting it? Why is this game expensive, but I have an LGS to play at? I don't know what to tell you, all right? Like, you can't have cheap Yu-Gi-Oh! In the TCG and expect stores to be able to pay overhead, pay their employees, pay for a place for you to go play the card game. They're just, you don't get it both ways, man. It doesn't work fundamentally. on our side of the game. A lot of stuff that players, I feel like, should know and should understand, but people just refuse to digest. And I don't know what's so hard about that when it looks at this sort of stuff. So old LOB is kicking up right now. We actually have a successful product coming through the market, which is good. And we'll see how Mesa Mudaros is going to be an interesting one. Truth be told, I am more interested in how Mesa Mudaros is going to hold up. Because you got to remember, we've also got stuff coming out. Should be, oh man, we should still have more for the Overframe collection too. I believe we're missing one of each of the cards for the main people. We should have additional support coming. I think we're missing a couple of weird anime cards still. We have a couple of alt arts still missing too. There is a lot of hype actually coming from this. I know we started this topic on the Yugi Bros coming into the game, but it's turned into a financial analyzation video of the state of the game. And the 300th, I think, is really propping this game up on a pedestal right now. Konami did what they needed to do. They needed to give us a ban list. They needed to give players time to actually start looking and start planning the game. That way players could get excited. Japan is pushing out all of these overframes and all of this excitement, trying to get, you know, the players excited with things that are happening over there. The evil investors are creeping around because they're hearing, oh, serialized cards are coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, I may as well pre-game in the lobby and actually start to take a look at what the rest of this game has to offer. I don't really blame them for that, honestly. I mean, there are opportunities in Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, we've seen them before. They're just different opportunities than what the average person is. I mean, walking over and grabbing first at LOB for, what was it, 30 grand? I don't know. I feel like they're more expensive than that at this point. But anyway, first ed LOB boxes are pretty much one of the only holy grail items that we've got in the game, minus World Championship cards. But that's always been the landscape between this game. Like, the only things that have ever actually held real high-end value have been the World cards and have been first at LOB. You know, you eventually scrape out of that YCS prize card, you know, market. I mean, I guess technically the former SJC prize cards still are worth money. I mean, you've got graded versions of Crush Card, which was already unobtainium to get back in the day. You know, these cards have already scraped up to so much crazier numbers that I guess those are, I mean, the prize cards and things. Yu-Gi-Oh's legacy, I mean, as much as prize cards have been a joke, I mean, they do have value, people. It's just the modern ones kind of suck. It's why, like, for Genesis, they're pushing, you know, Dark End Dragon. And I am hoping, you know, when we do actually shift into this, you know, in this new generation of, you know, new uprising, we'll see if, you know, the new stuff is going to actually create some value. Because that's what people want at the end of the day. They want whatever they're winning to have value, not just, I won this value. They want it to have some sort of value. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Has tried to fight that for years, but the inevitability is you have to create value in the modern card space. You can thank One Piece for doing this. One Piece's entire momentum has changed the entire landscape of the market. And honestly, it's good to see that, you know, there has to be, once again, we go back to that push and pull here with things. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has to create things that are valuable. They can't just poop out, you know, 1,015 reprints. Why do you think the whole Dragon Master Magia hard to pull thing actually worked? Because it was a hard to get card. And I think that was actually a test. I really hate to say it, but I think Magia was probably one of the reasons why they've jumped onto the direction that they are right now, and they're pushing this because the TCG produced Magia, and that set was crazy. People were opening product to try to chase it. It's something you don't really see in a lot of modern era products, I will say. So what do you guys think about the Pokebros coming? The inevitability is it was bound to happen for sure, but please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys.
Patrons!
Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.